Hello, y'all. It's Shelly with It's the Experience with Shelly. In today's video, we're going to go to several estate sales, Goodwill, and shop in an antique mall. So, we're going to start the video out with some footage from the estate sales, and then there's no footage of the Goodwill, and then there's some footage from the antique shop. So, get you something to drink, sit back, relax, watch the footage of the shopping, and then we're going to meet back here and I'm going to show you my haul. It was a good one. We had 5 estate sales in our area last week, so I got lots of good things and I can't wait to share it with you. Here we are at the first estate sale of the morning. It's about 7 o'clock and we're all standing in line waiting for them to allow us to go through the door and get started on our shopping. This is the glassware, and I don't know how much the glasses were, but these 2 items right there, the well is $350 and the other piece is $90. They were Blanco, I believe. I'm not sure how to say it. Then here's just some other items that were in the kitchen that I thought were unique. There's that. It's a great price considering what you'll see in the future of this video where they price it at an antique shop. That coffee pot looks so vintage and I just think it's really cool. And then there's the wedding dress and the veil. Beautiful. Here's the Wizard of Oz record. There wasn't any other ones. And then here's the whole set of 80s geese or goose. She wanted $10 a piece for most of them. And that's almost $40 for the 4, and I was not going to pay that. So I think it would have been 36 because 3 of them were 10 and 1 was 6. So I passed on that. And I loved that mixer. We're at another estate sale now, and those dishes are beautiful. And that mixer is just so vintage to me. Love the countertops. It's $10 for that old bottle. That was my Me Mama's dinette. That's why I took this footage so that y'all could see what the dinette looked like. It just brings me so many happy memories just seeing the dinette. When I saw that in the photos for the estate sale, that's the reason why I went, because I wanted to see that table with those chairs one more time. That was not the hutch that she had, so that I don't think that's the hutch that matched it. And one last look at the table. This is another estate sale, and there's some more expensive glass. I don't know anything about it, and that's a sewing box. That's really neat. Here's some more records. Love the Carpenters, and then I love that she also had this record from the movie The Graduate. That was so fun seeing that she had that. And then the rest of these are just children's books or children's stories that they would listen to. And she had a great collection. So many. I did not buy these. I have no need for them, but I just wanted y'all to get to see them. And it Puff the Magic Dragon, that was so neat. I thought just to see that, Bambi, and then Alice in Wonderland. Here's the $11 cookie cutter. I was shocked at that price. And then this is at the antique shop. Just showing you some footage. Thought that was pretty neat and retro looking. And then this, I guess, is needlepoint. It was absolutely beautiful. Loved it. It was in great shape. These are some junior cookbooks. some strawberry decor. It reminded me of some items that I would use to decorate my strawberry summer decor with. And here is the $64 fondue pot where we just saw it at the estate sale for $20. So I guess that is a good price for one, the $20 one. And then those vases I thought were pretty, and this is just very retro, and I just love it. I saw on Facebook that there was a warehouse that had been having a sale for the past 2 days, and I missed it. But in the sale, it had a photo of a whole bunch of green glass. So I reached out to the individual and I asked them if they had any of the green glass left and that I would be interested in it if they did. So she said, meet her there at 11 o'clock today. So we went out there. Come to find out, it wasn't a good deal. And she had had a 2 full day sale and you couldn't tell that she had sold anything. Her items were way overpriced and she wasn't willing to bundle or give you a discount or anything, and I wasn't willing to pay her prices. So these are the few things that I was willing to pay, but she's going to keep her stuff. And what's so strange is she told me that it was all given to her. She didn't even buy it. That people just give her stuff because she does estate sales, and at the end of the estate sales, she has all the stuff that's left over. And then people know that she has this warehouse, so they just give her stuff to sell. Not for them, for her to sell. So it was right next to a storage building, and her husband runs a storage building, so she had an enormous amount of glassware. She even told me that glassware doesn't sell and it's hard to even give it away. So I don't know why she wasn't willing to come down on her prices. But this is all I got glassware wise. Got this little item and she wanted $2 for it. So I was willing to pay $2 for it. And then she had one of these and it was $3. So had she had more, I may have, but the other glassware items, they weren't even quality pieces. You could tell they just weren't as vintage as I was looking for. So I passed on them. But she did have this and she sold it to me for $1. This is the, I think it's Falstaff Heritage, and I collect this. I have a huge set. The pattern has been in my family since the 1960s. It belonged to my grandmother, my great-grandmother, then it was passed on to my grandmother. So I have an enormous amount of that. So that was a good find for $1. And then she had this, which I see this stuff around us at estate sales a lot, and it kind of goes with my vintage vibe that I'm going for my hutch, my next decorate with me in my hutch, and she only wanted 75 cents. So I felt like that was a pretty decent price. Then she had this Lefton mushroom. Has a little turtle on it. The head is broken off. It is what it is. She wanted $9. I told her I wouldn't pay $9 for it. She said she'd give it to me for $6. Only because my pre-fall decor is going to be mushrooms, vintage mushroom. I felt like I needed this piece to do some good decorating. That's the only reason why I paid. It does say Lefton on the bottom. Wish the little turtle's head wasn't broke off, but it is, and I'm not gonna sweat over it. I don't think you can really tell. She had this for $1. Again, I'm thinking these colors will go great with my fall, pre-fall. It's not my fall. I'm not ready to decorate for fall yet. I'm ready for a change from my summer theme of the strawberries, switching it over to mushroom. I'm gonna use my Mary mushroom decor, canister set, and all that to do that decorate. That video will be coming up showing you my Mary Mushroom collection and how I ended up getting it. Then she had this for $3. Been wanting one of these. I actually saw it in her photo of the warehouse and I thought there's no way that's going to be left, and it was, and it's green, and I think this is one of those things that you can put plates in, and I can have them in my hutch like that. I can decorate all different ways with that, I feel like. And then this is the last thing I got there. She had this old crate. It is not Coke, it's Pepsi, which if I had my choice, I would rather have had a Coca-Cola one, but it was $15 and I haven't found one that cheap in my area, and I feel like I can do some vignettes in each one of these little cubbies. And this is the kind I was wanting. I wasn't wanting one that was individual. So it worked out and I went with it. Oh, this is the last item. Okay, so I'm walking around. It's very overwhelming. She has so much stuff in this warehouse. All the tables are covered. It's just, and she wants to follow you around and talk. And I'm trying to not get distracted and concentrate and look and try to find what all this stuff is. And then she had these. They were $5 for the pair, and I have this pattern. This is the pattern that has been in my family since the 60s. That was my great-grandmother's. She passed it down to my grandmother, my mama's twin. And then whenever I had to downsize and move into an apartment in 2019, I gave all of my collection, huge collection, to a friend. I have allowed myself to start collecting those again in the same stamp on the back that was my great-grandmother's and was me mama's twin. And I'll never have the collection that I had. It had every piece from the 60s, maybe early 70s. There were only 2 different stamps on it. Enormous collection. I'll never have that again. But if I can find some pieces, I'm always excited when I find them. So we were walking around an antique mall and we were shopping, and I came across several pieces, and I kept telling myself, no, Shelly, you're not paying those prices for it. You will build your pattern back reasonably, responsibly, and you won't spend that kind of money. So we leave the antique shop, and my husband knows of a Goodwill on the way, headed back home, and he pulls in there, and it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's crowded. There were no parking places. It was crawling with people. I was like, it's probably not going to be that good, but I'll give it a try. It's not our usual Goodwill, so I just ran right in. 4 of these. $12.99, and it's very faint, but it is the one of the 2 stamps that I will take, and they are the Made in the USA, and this is Francescan Desert Rose. And so now I have 8 dinner plates, and 4 of the salad or dessert plates, and then I have 10, because all of these I have to find through the Goodwill because I'm not paying the upcharge. I have 10 of the saucers, but no cups. And then I found these through eBay because the only way I will get these, other than the estate sale, I found 2 more butter pats. So I liked it on my eBay, and they offered me free shipping and reduced the price. They were $25 for both of them, and I didn't have to pay any shipping. So I went ahead and I paid a little more for these, but there's no way I'm going to find these. So now I have 3 of these butter pats and 10 of the saucers, now the salt and pepper shakers, and 8 dinner plates and 4 dessert or salad plates. So I'm making progress. I know it's going to be slow. I'm just hoping that by Easter of next year, I can have enough of that to do the back of my hutch with solid dinner plates and then incorporate springtime stuff with it. That's my goal, is to hopefully find enough to, and that's a good start. I don't have to have all the pieces. I don't have to have everything that I once had. It's not realistic. I don't have the place to store it. I just can't do it. So I was very excited that I found those 4 plates with the right stamp on the back. So then we travel along. Oh, let me go back. At that antique shop, while we were there, I made this purchase. This is the only thing I bought at the antique store that I can show you, because the other items that I bought were seasonal and they will come out in my Thanksgiving and in my Easter, because one was Thanksgiving, one was Easter. But I've been wanting this. This has been on my bucket list, and I've found not 1 but 2 of these. But I went with this one because it's the first edition from 1955, and the other one was not the 3-ring binder, and that's the one I want, is the 3-ring binder. I didn't want the one that was the skinny little binder. I wanted this particular one. Have 3 of these that are not the junior. This one is Better Homes and Gardens Junior Cookbook for the hostesses and host of tomorrow. I wanted this one to go with those collections, and I already have it displayed in my hutch, and I pulled it out just so that I could show y'all. So this was a very exciting find for me, and it goes great with my other 3. So then now we're on to Goodwill. We stopped at the Goodwill another night after work last week. I ran in and they had all 3 of these like straw chargers or placemats, whatever you want to call them. And they had them for $4.99, and I always have a 20% off coupon. So I got this for $4.99. And then they had 4 of these plates. And they're not anything special, but I think they'll be great in my fall display. I think they will also look good with some of my vintage plates that I've been collecting. And I can see a use for these for several different things. They were $2 each. I got 4 of them. So I paid $8 for 4, paid $4.99 for that, and then I used my 20% off coupon. And that's all that I got at the Goodwill on that trip. Then today, my husband and I got up and we went to both Goodwills, and I only found this item right here that I can show you, because the other item that I got was seasonal Easter, so I can't show that until my Easter haul in the spring. But they had 2 of these. I don't know if, I guess they're apples. I thought maybe they were bell peppers at first, but they are salt and pepper shakers. They must have been in someone's antique booth, because they have that little stamp on the bottom showing like it's been in a booth. But they wanted $1.99 each. Again, I think this will look great in my fall Mary mushroom with this mushroom, all these bright, vivid green 70s colors that I'm going to use, the oranges and everything. That's what I plan to do my pre-fall decorate for pre-fall with. So now we are at an estate sale that I went to last Thursday. I saw it online, and I had to go to work, so I couldn't get there at 7 o'clock I couldn't get there right when they opened, because I have to be at work at 7:30. So this one opened at 9, and I waited until I could take my lunch, which was about 10 o'clock. I took an early lunch, and these items were still there, and they were it was what I actually saw in the photo that I wanted and what I went there for. So this thermos reminds me, the reason why I love it is my dad had a lunchbox that was the same pattern when he was a little boy, and he gave me mama gave it to us, and my mom spray painted it black. I'll never forget that, and I just can't imagine why she would have spray painted it black. Not only did she spray the outside black, she sprayed the inside black. So every time I took my lunch in that mailbox, all my food tasted like paint smells. So this made me excited to find this, and it was $4, and I'm going to decorate with it probably for Christmas. You'll see it in my Christmas, but it's not a Christmas item, so I'm not including it in my Christmas decor hauls that I have coming up. But that Susan with the old so-and-so, she does a lot of decorating with these, and every time she does it, I absolutely love to see what she does with them. So I couldn't pass it up. I just want to find one that's a little smaller now, so I'll have a pair of them. But I feel like this was a good score. It was in the photo up against the wall by the back door, and I blew the image up, saw it, and I was like, I'm out of here. I gotta go get that. So I got that, and then they had this bag of cookie cutters, and they're $1. And while I was at the antique mall where I got this cookbook, they had these witch cookie cutters for $11 each. I am so glad that I found this, because I remember that cookie cutter from when I was a little girl, and there's no way I'm paying $11 each to get me one of those. So this was a great find for me, and all I could think about is I already have that cookie cutter, and I was thinking that I paid $1 for a bag of them. So when I got home, I counted it up, 5 cookie cutters in here for $1. I'm excited. I was really excited after I saw that it was $11. Okay, then these are the last 2 items at that particular place. This one is $4. I love aprons. I'm going to soak them in Oxy, get them good and clean, press them up. It's really cute. It was homemade. It's homemade sewn. You can tell by the stitching that somebody hand sewed this on a machine and then did hand stitching. So I think I can do a lot with this. I love the little eyelet at the bottom. It's so sweet. And then there was one more, and this one is a bibbed one, and it will be so cute. I've got to soak it in OxyClean. It is a little yellowed right there, but my concoction of soaking in Oxy has not failed me yet, and I've managed to get every stain out of anything that I have received that's old like that I know that it won't mess up the fabric. So I'm confident I can get that back to white. And then I have 2 other estate sale stops. I got this, and it was at the first estate sale of the morning, and it was packed. It was a 7 o'clock estate sale. I could go there on my way to work, and I saw it, but I can't show you what else I got because it was full of Christmas, and I got a lot of Christmas and a lot of Halloween. So those are, stay tuned to those months so I can show you those items. But these are little silverwares, and they say aluminum, and I thought, I don't know, I guess they're little kid. I don't know, but it has 4 forks, 4 knives, and 8 spoons. So I guess maybe they're play sets for little kids, but I'm going to use them to style in something in my hutch, and I think that'll be really cute to style them in there, or to turn them upside down and only use the tops of them. I don't know, but that's kind of what I envisioned I would do with these, was put them in something and use them as a styling. These were $7. I thought they were so unique, I didn't mind paying $7. Okay, then this is the last item. Total $2 I spent. This estate sale, it was the daughter-in-law and the son-in-law of the lady that owned the house, and She went to assisted living. She had fallen and she could no longer be at home, so they were getting rid of all of her stuff. And they were just, the house had already sold. This was what you call, they wanted to get rid of their stuff. So I'm not normally an amber glass girl, but this will be great with some of my fall stuff, I think. And they had 5 of these. So I have, I guess they must have had 6 and maybe one of them broke. I don't really care. I'll just do a 4-piece setting, or I will just put them in my hutch and make it work. So all 5 of them were $1. And then this cookbook my mother had when I was a little girl, and I remember it. It was in poor shape too, the one my mom had, but it was $1. I couldn't pass it up. I remember finding recipes in this book and cooking out of it. And it's 1972 copyright, and that's the year I was born. So I just felt like it's $1. I have core memories from cooking out of it, and it's a 1972. So it's a trio, and it came home with me. So that's all of the items that I have to share with you today. It was a full week. I mean, I went to one that I didn't get anything but Christmas. Amazing, unbelievable haul. I cannot wait to show y'all what I got at that sale. And then it was all 1950s. This lady, she did not pass away either, because when I got ready to check out, I was telling them, I just want y'all to know all of these items are going to a good home. I'm not a reseller. I'm not going to resell these items. I truly love these, and I'm adding these to my collection. And they were like, oh, she didn't die. She's still alive. But they said Christmas was her favorite. I said, Christmas is my favorite, and I can't wait till Christmas is here to decorate with these items. So y'all are going to have to stay tuned for that. Please let me know in the comments below which of these items were your favorite, if you would have picked them up. If you have any information on these little silverware, I would love to know. And if anybody could tell me what this is actually, what pattern this is, I don't know what it is, and I would love to know. And I think that's going to be all of it for today. Thank you for stopping by. I would appreciate a like, comment, and please subscribe. I have a lot planned for future videos. I have a lot of footage that I've previously recorded that I don't have ready to put up. But I put up 3 videos a week, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and I'm going to be getting all that footage off of my camera, uploaded, so that y'all can see that too. And I've been doing this since the first of the year, so we are in August now, so it's going to look like I have a lot of stuff and that I buy a lot of stuff, but I've been doing this for so long that every time you see a haul, it doesn't mean that I just went and picked that up this week. So I appreciate everything. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please come back for the next video, and have a great day.